Hello and welcome to Rosberry Crafts, my YouTube channel where I share all my crafty adventures. Today is October 6th, 2023, and this is episode 71. Welcome to all you new viewers, and thank you very much for coming back to all my returning viewers. My name is Roz, and I live in Lake Country, British Columbia, Canada, with my husband and my two kids who are 13 and 11. Today for you, I have What Am I Wearing?, Finished Objects, Works in Progress, Next on My Needles, Events, and some chatter. So buckle up, it's gonna be a good one. Let's get started, shall we? What am I wearing? Today I am wearing my Stonewall sweater. I am delighted to say it is full fall around here. It's so cold overnight. We had to turn the heat on in the house. It is the perfect weather. Beautiful, beautiful sunshine. I will put a picture in at the end of one that I took from my lunchtime walk today, but it is lovely, lovely, lovely outside. It's crisp and sunny and just my favorite time of year. So it is sweater weather. So this is my Stonewall. I finished it recently this year. And Stonewall is a pattern by Alicia Plummer. And I really enjoy her patterns. They have a good fit to my body type. And the yarn is Fiery Fabrico, of course, the worsted, and the color is Purple Kush. So it's just a really deep purple. It's showing up much more variegated on camera here. I'm going to stand up so you can see. I mean, it definitely is variegated, but yeah, I love it. I love it. It is a woolly wool. It's 100% wool. So I can tell that it's wool, but it doesn't bother me. You know, if you were sensitive to like that prickliness of wool, I would say maybe this is not next to skin for you, but for me, it totally is. So I just have a t-shirt on underneath. Often I wear it with just like a camisole underneath, and then that's perfect for me. Anyway, so yeah, this is a sweater that I am wearing, and we will move on to finished objects. I think I have a little bit of the sillies this afternoon. I've already had to cut out quite a bit of laughter. So just going with it because you know what? I have limited time to do this and I really want to share all of my making because last weekend I was out of town and you know what? Going camping just took all of my energy before we left for camping. So I didn't have any time to record. And so it's been 2 weeks and I really want to update you guys. So I have finished 2 things. The first one is, trying not to knock everything over here. It's my Simple Hug Cardi. Oh, it's so good. So this pattern is Simple Hug Cardi by Cozy Up Knits. They are sisters out of Alberta. They also have a podcast on YouTube here, so you should definitely check them out. They are hilarious. Also, their designs, I want to say they have everything from like fairly simple designs to like super complicated designs, sweaters, shawls, mitts, hats, socks, like a little bit of everything. And I enjoy them all. So I will stop waxing poetic about that and I will tell you about the yarn. So I used Loops and Thread Joy DK and I have Lagoon and Tropical. And these are leftovers from a blanket that I made for Taylor. Well, and then ripped out part of it. Anyway, long story short, the project did not work out and I salvaged some of the yarn enough to make a sweater for myself. And I also used some Super Kid in here as well. So that's the black fuzziness that you see. This is, I'm gonna hold it out. It is an oversized cardigan and it is meant to be oversized. Like it's hard to see, but it is oversized and I love it. There's the back. So I did kind of plan the striping a bit. But you can see like this one, like there's just one row of that blue before it goes into the next one. So yeah, I love it. Love it, love it, love it. It turned out just perfect. I have worn it with a couple long sleeve sweaters, and with the mohair in it, it is warm, very, very warm. The other is an acrylic, 100% acrylic, which is a very soft acrylic and not squeaky at all. So I would definitely recommend that for a good acrylic, especially for babies and stuff, because it's DK, so it's not super chunky or something, but it's not super thin either, not super thick and not super thin, and super soft and great to work with. So yeah, I think that's everything on there. I'm gonna put this over here now that I've dealt with it. I have a different tripod. I broke my tripod. So I'm using a new tripod. Well, we've had it for a while, but I haven't really used it. And it also has a remote and some a selfie stick kind of functionality. So it's kind of like an all-in-one. Anyway, it fits my phone great. The remote works great. So I did take some photos with the remote, and I will put them in. All right, so the second project that I finished is the scarf that I had been working on. So you'd seen, oh, there's the sun. Yeesh, you can see it. So you had seen this part, but you hadn't seen any of this. So it is a scarf, not a shawl, definitely. But I think it turned out super awesome. And let's go over the details. So the pattern is Oscillio by Laura Nelkin. She also has a YouTube channel. You should definitely check her out as well. And this is meant to be beaded, but I did not bead it. I do have some pink beads, but they weren't the right shade of pink, and I just didn't feel like hunting for beads, so I did it without beads, and I think it worked out just great. The yarn that I used, so the gray is an Oyama Lake Alpaca Farm, which was a local alpaca farm. Unfortunately, they are no longer a farm. And then this was some leftover yarn indulgence that I had that I made a Pebble Beach shawl out of. And it's so soft. It's an MCN, so it's got cashmere in it. Oh my gosh, it's so soft. This thing is going to be super warm. I have a black jacket, so I think this will be a nice little pop of something. Also, Taylor, my 11-year-old, may have worn it for the rest of the evening until she realized that there was a stitch marker stuck on it. And do you know why there was a stitch marker still on it? There's right there. Because I dropped a stitch. Out of all of these double and triple yarn overs, which is how you get these kind of elongated stitches, I only dropped one. And I looked over this thing. And the alpaca is super sticky, so it didn't even go anywhere. But yep, it's so pretty. So you can't, it's really hard to see. It is a wave pattern, and then this is just stripes of the elongated stitches. So it is lovely, and I'm gonna look forward to wearing it or watching Taylor wear it. And I didn't end up needing I talked about adding the purple as well, but I still have half of what I have left of the pink. So I've used up all of the gray now though, which was my goal. So calling that done and dusted. That's going over that side because that is done. So that is it for finished objects, and we'll move on to works in progress. My first work in progress is in this lovely basket that I have. I got them from Costco. There's a set of 3. And so this is my sit next to my desk at work project, because it goes around and around and around. And you guys, oh, it's so good. It's rolling because it's plain stockinette, but once I finish it, it'll be fine. It won't roll once I wash it and block it. But like, oh, look at those colors. All right, let's talk about this project. This is the Shortest Day Shawl by Christina Gordon. And so basically you knit it in the round, and by magic, you cut it open and then it doesn't unravel. So I'm gonna steek my knitting. So yeah, so that is that. And you can see where the steek panel right here, where my stitch markers are. But yeah, it's just beautiful. This is Fireweed Fiber Co. Her Sweet Pea sock, and this is her Advent from last year, so 2022. And yeah, so I'm on color, I just finished color number 11, and I'm on color number 12. And you can see this silver stitch marker here is where I was last time I recorded. So I've gotten a lot, I mean 2 weeks, so 2 weeks worth. Yeah, and then this ball is all the leftovers that I have. And I haven't weighed it yet, but after number 10, I weighed it and I had 40 grams. So that's about 4 grams left of each color. So I think I might make a pair of socks out of this and just like knit a tube out of all these leftovers. I don't know. Have to think about it, but I still have I have this one and this one. That's all the yarn that I have left. So not even halfway, but this is going to be a huge cozy shawl. So now I'm going to move my stitch marker up so that I know where I am for next time. Whoop. The stitch marker is see if I can show it this time. Anyway, it's a measuring tape. Where am I going to put this? There's good. Awesome. So yeah, that is just coming along nicely. I can't stop staring at it. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. All right, I talked about the pattern. I talked about the yarn, so we'll call that good. Next up, I have a pattern that I've been working on for a while. It's a tube. So this is going to be a ripple camisole by Jessie Made Designs. So yeah, so far it's a tube. I decided to add some decreasing in the bottom because I'm a curvy shape, and I am making this a bit longer than it calls for in the pattern because I want to be able to cover my full stomach. So I do wear a lot of high-waisted stuff, so it doesn't go super long, but it's definitely longer than the pattern. So from this point here is what I've gotten done since I last showed this one, which was a while ago. And that is also my measuring point. I'm going to do 5 inches from there and then try it on again and see how much more I would like on it. The yarn that I'm using for this one, I can't find it in my notes. There we go. It is Knit Picks Stroll, and it's a tonal and the blue yonder. So yeah, I'm not alternating skeins or anything. I've just got this much left of this ball, and then I have all of this one. So I have plenty to finish this. And I also have a swatch I can rip out if I need it, but I don't think I will. But yeah, so that is coming along nicely. That's been my upstairs knitting, my TV knitting, if you will. And I have one more project. So I have this lovely bag that I've shown before, and it is perfect for traveling in the car because it's got this nice loop, and it doesn't quite close at the top, so I can thread my yarn out through here, and I always keep a small on-the-go project in here. And currently it is this. So these will be some fingerless mitts for my husband Mike, and the pattern is, sorry, my notes are down here today, so I'm all over the place. Dream Fingerless Mittens by Marsha Healy, who is, what is her username? I don't remember. Anyway, it will be linked, her pattern and everything will be linked down below, along with everything else that I talk about in this video. So the yarn is Mustache Yarns in her Must Match socks that perfect must match. Let me say that again. Oh, I can see the sun is creeping over. I gotta finish this before the sun moves too much. So the yarn is Mustache Yarn in a perfect must match, and this is the Hogwarts colorway. I think it's actually called Old School or something. But anyway, so yeah, we got a bit of Gryffindor, Ravenclaw, and Slytherin, and then we've got Hufflepuff coming up next. So once I get to the end of the green, I'll be done the cuff part, and I'll be moving into the hand. So not that much longer on these, but these are my out and about knitting, and it's always nice to have an on-the-go project that I can just, and I keep it by the front door where my purses go, and I just grab and go. So yeah, that is, that's everything from my whip chair. So we will move on to next on my needles. I haven't done a next on my needles in a while because I've had so many projects that I've been trying to finish up and randomly casting on new ones before I can even talk about them. So it's kind of fun to have this segment again. So next on my needles is the Geo Gradient Westlets mystery knit along. So he does a mystery knit along. This is Stephen West. The pattern is, I'll put this stuff in here. There is a knit along every fall. I don't know how many years he's been doing it, but quite a few. And I've knit some of his patterns before, I think. Maybe one. I can't remember. I have a lot of them queued, definitely. The things I want to knit for sure. And yeah, I really just loved the look of this one. I waited for the first clue to come out to try and get a bit of an idea of what kind of techniques he was going to be using. And this one is supposed to be a gradient. So I'll leave that over there because it's sticky, but this is what I will be using. I love it. I'm so excited. Yeah, so let's start with the white. Is actually Lion Brand Sock Ease in the marshmallow colorway. It's kind of like a creamy, it's not like a white, it's definitely like a creamy color. And the next two are actually yarn that I won, and it's a set that's, you're supposed to knit a shawl in the light color and then the dark color, and it kind of gradiates because there's just the same color of dye as used on both of these, but just less on this one and more on this one. So these are Dingo Dye Works in her, I don't know how to say that. Anyway, she's not dyeing anymore. She's from Australia, and it was amazing to win these, but I haven't ever really known what to do with them. There was a pattern that came along with it as well, but it just never called to me. So now I'm very excited to use those. And then the last one is super fun. So this is Fireweed Fabrico, and this is one of her mystery sock club colors from this year. And this is from May, yeah, of this year. So this is the Buffy yarns, and this says, "You're not special, you're extraordinary." So I'd have to watch again to find out what that refers to. There is a picture on Erin's Instagram as well. So if you look up her Fireweed Fabrico, there's inspiration pictures for all of her monthly colorways. But yeah, aren't you just so excited? I'm so excited. Yeah, so I talked about the pattern and I talked about the yarn. I am gonna throw yarn everywhere. Ooh, and with that sun streaming in, I am getting warm. Hopefully I'm not too pink. Yeah, so that is coming up. I am actually going to swatch. I'm gonna put this down before it falls. And so I'm gonna do that tonight during movie night, Friday night movie night at our house. And yeah, I'm gonna swatch with all 4 of the colors and to make sure I like how that looks, and that I'm getting the right stitch count, because I often have to go down a needle size. So I just want to make sure that I'm going to have enough yarn to complete the project with what I have, because trying to find something else to match with those is going to be difficult. So yeah, that's the long and the short of next on my needles. Coming up is events. For events, I'm still participating in the Down Cellar Studio Pigskin Party. This doesn't end till February, so you'll be hearing about this every week. But my new cast on that I might get to this weekend will count for that. So yeah, so that's exciting. So yeah, you can still join, and it's based around the football season, but you don't have to know anything about football. You can check out her website for more details. So yeah, I've got a couple projects that I'm finishing up that don't count, but my shortest day shawl and then this new shawl will definitely count towards it. And the scarf that I just finished counts towards it. So winning. Let's move on to chatter. First up for chatter, we're going to talk about the books that I've read. And since it's been a couple weeks and we had some camping time and some relaxing time, I have 4 books. Okay, so first off is Pride and Magic. Sorry, I'm looking at my notes down here, by Melody Raven. And I've been reading this one off and on. It's on Kobo Plus, which I subscribe to. So I kind of read some books in between the library books, between when they come on hold and back and forth. So Pride and Magic I've been reading for a while, and I finally finished it. I gave it, I think, 2.5 stars. It was okay. None of the characters really spoke to me. The writing was okay. It wasn't that interesting. It was fine. It was fine. Next up is Crossroads Magic by TJ Green. This one I love. This is the 6th or 7th book in the series. I've got the next one all lined up and ready to go, but I have a library book that I'm reading right now. But yeah, Crossroads Magic. So yeah, it's about a small town in Cornwall or near Cornwall, and there's like old magic and witches and other kind of fantastical things happen, and yeah. It's very, very good series. I highly recommend that if you're into that kind of thing. Next up, and I read both of those in book form. Next up, I listened to It Starts With Us. Now, on my last episode, I talked about It Ends With Us, which is by Colleen Hoover. And so this is the second one in that series. I don't know if it's a series, if it's just 2 books in that grouping. Yeah, so it just continues on from where the previous book left off. It was pretty good, a little predictable. I mean, there was some turns and twists and stuff, but overall it was okay. It's not a must read. The first one I would say is a definite must read. The second one is if you have time, looking for something. And the last one I almost want to read it again right now. And actually I listened to this one. It's called Fourth Wing, and it's by Rebecca Yarros, and it's amazing. It is nonstop action. It's in a fantastical world, so there's dragons and magic, and there's drama and intrigue and romance and coming of age, and it's just like oh my gosh, look at the sun is now shining really bright. It's all packed into this book, and the second one isn't coming out until next year, and I cannot wait. Like, I'm so excited about this book. Honestly, I've been telling everybody about it, that everyone should read it. If you're into fantasy stuff, definitely try to get your hands on it. But know that the second one is not available yet. But there is a second one. It must be already been done, because they already have a name and a publication date and all that kind of stuff. So it's coming. But yes, very good book. Enjoyed that immensely. I almost think that I want to get it and read it. I just don't think that with that size of a book, I'm worried. Oh, there's a fly on the roof. I'm worried. I thought it was a spider, but it's a fly. With the amount of pages that are in the book, when you get a book from the library, you have 21 days to read it, and then it has to go back. So I'm just wondering if I would have enough time to get through that. Because when I read, I just read a little bit at night before I go to bed. Whereas when I listen to an audiobook, I'm like wandering around the house doing chores and stuff. So I tend to have more time for an audiobook than I do to actually physically read a book. But I could make that happen. I bet you I could. All right, so that's it for books. That's a lot. It's been 2 weeks. In that time, We went on an amazing hike with friends. It was beautiful weather again. It's my favorite time of year, guys, for a reason. It was so warm. I was completely drenched in sweat after this hike. So we went to it's a historic nut farm that's now a regional park, but all the nut trees are still there and all the nuts are falling, and there were squirrels and deer and all sorts of animals in this park. It's not very big. It's kind of just like a small field size, and but there's like 10 different types of nut trees in this park. So it was really cool to see. I'd never been there before. And then we went and hiked up a ravine. And I say up because it felt like we were going up the entire time, but we were going up and then we go down and then we go up and then we go down. So it was a linear park between two neighborhoods. And it was an amazing park. There's this huge gorge. The kids had a great time. Beautiful views, beautiful weather, fun with our friends. So it was all good. The other thing that I did last week was I joined an adult hip hop class. So a bit of background is that I danced all through my elementary and high school years. My husband and I met swing dancing, so dancing, and then I danced non-competitively for fun as an adult on and off. And I haven't done anything for a few years. I've also taught Zumba, and like lots of dance related things are very important to me. But I haven't found a class locally that I've really enjoyed. So yeah, an adult hip hop class started up at our local dance school, and I went and it was awesome. It was super fun. We'll see how many people continue in the class, but it sounds like there's enough to run the class, so we're gonna go with that. Awesome. And yeah, maybe I'll take a clip next time we go. So Tuesday nights is when we meet, so maybe I'll take a clip on Tuesday. It won't be in this video though, maybe the next one. And as I mentioned before, we went camping last weekend. This is our last camping trip of the year. So the trailer is going to be packed up for the winter now. I've already started taking all of the things out. We have a lot of critters in our area, so we just want to do everything we can to deter the critters from living in our trailer over the winter, and bugs and stuff like that. So we take all the bedding, all the food, you know, everything, all the electronics that can't be frozen because it gets down to like -20 here, so Celsius. So yeah, we want to make sure we protect everything, and then it's in for service right now, and then once it's back, we will winterize all the water things. You put in blow everything out with a compressor, which we have, and then put this special liquid in the places that you can't blow out. And anyway, so all the winterizing stuff is going to happen, but we had an amazing camping trip. We camped right on Skaha Lake in Penticton, and some people, not us, actually went swimming on October 1st. It's crazy. The kids had a great time. I will put in at the end, which is coming up soon, some of the videos and photos. They dug a giant hole and proceeded to live in that hole basically the entire weekend. So it was super awesome, and the kids had a great time. I got so much outdoor time, knitting time, chatting with friends. We went camping with friends, so it was all good things. So I think I'm going to call it good there and wrap this up, and I will see you guys next time. Bye. Tour. So what's this one here? Okay. And Taylor, what do you have here? Okay. Utility. Taylor?
This is my area. This is the shelf. My area is a very work in progress.
easy. Awesome. Okay. I can't even see. Like it's dark.
It goes,
yeah.
It goes so far.
Oh, cool.
And then mine's a bit shallower.
Yeah, work in progress. And then what's over here? We got steps.
That's the well.
Okay.
Down there.
Yeah.